And we back, y'all. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. And thank you to Chanel Ayan. I cannot do it. What that's going on, y'all? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. Joining me as always is my girl, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello.
Yeah, so she is here going, she's gonna do Real Housewives of Dubai, and then we're gonna go to her channel to do Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Make sure you guys subscribe to her channel as well. Any recaps on my channel that I do not do, Mrs. Best does on her channel. So far, we do Basketball Wives together on her channel. We do Love and Hip Hop on her channel, both Atlanta and Miami, if Miami does come back. We also do Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and also New Jersey. So if you guys love those shows and want to catch the recaps of those, go to Mrs. Best channel and make sure you subscribe to her channel as well. Show my girl some love. So let's get into it, y'all, because this episode pissed me off to every extent of everything. So we pick up where we left off the next day at Caroline Stansberry's house. She, sleeping on her mattress, her and her husband, Sergio. She is talking about that she cannot believe these ladies acted a fool up in her house. First, she was pissed about Brooks bringing that sage up in there and Sergio like, oh, I know, honey, I know. I didn't like that. I didn't like her at all. And then she started all this drama in our home. This is our home, honey. This is our home. And she go, yeah, I know. Like, I can't believe this either. And I'm not wanting to go to Bali with these ladies because I don't feel like going through the drama. And Sergio goes, well, what am I supposed to do while you're gone? And she goes, watch my kids, watch the house. Like, what do you mean? What do I want to do? And he goes, oh, honey, I like your hair like that, because she has her hair and it's still in like this very crinkly bouffant. And she looked crazy as hell, but he said he liked it like that. And he go, tiki tiki. And she goes, absolutely not. Now, Caroline, Caroline, what are you doing with this man? Like, what is this for? Because I started to think it's because you need regular maintenance and a tune up. The man is only 27 years old. I get it. But it's starting to feel like you just didn't want to be alone. So you just married whatever. Because this man is sitting up there, you talking about going on vacation. He's getting upset because he's asking you, well, what is he going to do? He doesn't work. He ain't got no job.
I'm
What's
telling
going
you, it's
on?
for the show. It was for the show. I don't care what nobody say.
Do you really? I don't know what it is for, but I was sitting there and listening to them in that bed, and I got annoyed instantly because I'm just like, the hell? Like, y'all, they're not gonna Sergio and Caroline Stansberry ain't gonna worry me, but it's starting to get annoying now with these two. Like, I'm starting to get sick of looking at them two together. So we then move on to Talene and her husband. They, talk about last night and how they both feel bad. And Rafa said, I'm embarrassed because I never do that. I said, I don't. And in my head, when he said that, I don't believe you. I believe that's exactly who you are. With the shit you did with Brooks, I feel like you do this all the time. I don't think it's necessarily to Talene, but I do think that you a hothead because nothing that Brooks did in that moment warranted what you did. So I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's not who you are. I believe that you ain't had to do that in no long ass time. I can believe that, but no, you're not gonna sell us on this whole victimize. Oh, I didn't do that, and that's our friend at the end of the day. And Talene's like, yeah, yeah. I was over that conversation too because Talene, I don't like Talene. I just don't. She's not it. How do you feel about that conversation with Talene and Raphael?
If you have to say you don't do something, then you've done it before. If you don't do something, your friends are just going to know you don't do or deal with something. People who know you. So that's one. I felt like he was putting on for the camera. Two, he grew up rich. He grew up privileged. I don't think this is a man who's used to hearing no. Three, what straight man y'all know that's going to be getting involved with the drama that his wife is having with another female? Most men don't want nothing to do with it and will walk away. I think a good example of that is the Potomac husbands. What listen, they get into it, especially Karen Huger's husband. Ray, he be, oh, there they go, and he'll move away from it. Like most men are gonna get involved in drama between women. This had nothing to do with him. He made something that probably would have been Brooks and Talene, like having a slight little messy, shady banter. He turned it into so much more by getting involved. But I still don't like him.
I don't either. I think that for me, where they lost me, where Talene lost me, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Because I said it last week. I did. If y'all missed it last week, what I said was when when Caroline Brooks started discussing what she said, Talene said when she came on the show, she said, "Look, if anyone talks about me, let me know." Now, unless Brooks didn't say it, I don't know if there was necessarily parameters on what that was supposed to look like. But when we come across Brooks actually doing it, hey, Caroline Brooks said that she saw, your hole in your ass. And I didn't like that. I felt like, okay, well, don't do my friend like that. She's just having fun. You then take it upon yourself to then ask her, what does she mean by that? But still, your friend did what you asked her to do. You should have told your friend, look, girl, ain't no big deal. I probably was lit. It's all good. We'll just move on, and I'm just gonna watch her ass from this point on forward. I would have respected Talene if she moved that way. But the fact that she went asked Caroline Stansberry what happened. Caroline Stansberry said she didn't mean it in that way and decides to befriend her. I do see the slight to Caroline Brooks. So that's why I kind of not seeing it for Talene. And I do believe Brooks when she said Talene begged her to be on the show. I don't think beg was the correct term, but I think she was persistent because she said Talene said that her and her husband had to have a full conversation for a year before she joined the show. Well, then why didn't you come on the show as a friend of last season? Talene full of shit, y'all. I'm sorry. She did. She's full of shit. I don't think that that was a problem for her to be on the show, and I don't think her husband cared. I think that it's exactly what Brooks is saying. So that's why I don't really see it for Talene. So, is there anything you want to add, Mrs. Best, before I move on?
No, I
Oh,
agree with everything you're saying.
perfect. Let's go ahead and move on forward. So the ladies are packing for Bali. We're showing all of them pack and everything, and then we move on to Lisa. Lisa is packing and talking with her husband, and he's telling her, "Look, you on vacation. We got it from here. Don't worry about the kids. Don't worry about work. We will handle it." So she shows him a little schedule, and he's like, "Look, I don't need that. My mom is coming down here." And I said, "Oh, see, there it is. There it is. I knew it." I was like, "Y'all, I just something told me this man was going to pull a fastball on her. He gonna call his mama and bring his mama out there so his mama can watch the boys and stuff like that." And I said, "Damn, Rich, just when I was finna give you some brownie points, here you go." And ain't nothing wrong with grandmama coming into town and taking care of her grandchildren. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But y'all, a lot of y'all men do this all the time. Where when your woman go out of town or has to be away from the kids, the first thing you do, you either drop the kids off at your mama house or you call your mama in town to watch the kids for y'all. Y'all ain't right. Them, I can see if you had a little girl out of all them boys, then yes, that's understandable. But you got all boys. You mean to tell me you can't take care of your boys, bring them to the office, work, go get them some McDonald's and bring your ass home? Okay, Rich. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna surrender. But I saw that, and I want y'all men to stop doing this. Y'all men, I didn't grow up like that. The men in my life, my grandfather, father, uncles, always had their kids all the time, probably more than the women in my family. So I never came from a situation where I never saw the men around me not having their children or always putting the children off on their mamas and their grandmamas and their aunties or somebody else, like the way these men do in this generation. I've never seen that. So it was I was just laughing at that because I was thinking to myself, damn, I was going to get this man some brownie because I still will, but I would have much preferred him say, "Yeah, me and the boys got this. We're gonna hold down the fort for you. Don't worry about nothing." How'd you feel about that scene, Mrs. Best?
I'm not surprised the mom's coming. I'm gonna say this. At least he got a job to go to. At least he got the need for a babysitter. Sergio, what am I gonna do?
True, true,
Jesus.
very true. Yeah, because that shit still, I'm past that scene and I'm still thinking about that. So it's funny you bring that up. So the ladies get to the airport, um, and sure enough, when Caroline Stansberry got there, guess who next to her is that damn Sergio. So Sergio goes, "I'm coming," and Chanel Ayan was pissed. She goes, no, you not." She goes, "Stansberry, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this at all. Like, he does not need to go." So he laughs and goes, "No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually going to Spain." And he shows him the passport. And Lisa Mo's like, "Oh, thank God." She gives him a hug and they send him a farewell. But before that, he shows Caroline this big ass poster of him that she's supposed to carry around. And I'm just like, if that ain't some old new shit, really? She not gonna be gone for no damn year. She only gonna be gone for a few days. You mean to tell me that you have to get this life size picture of you for her to carry on for? I wouldn't have carried that shit. I said, if you gonna go put that shit somewhere else, that marriage drives me crazy. That marriage drives me crazy. But as they're, looking around, they notice that Brooks has not showed up yet. So they're like, "Okay, where's Brooks?" But we have to board because they're missing their flight. So they get their bags on there, they all get on the plane and they go to Bali. And y'all, Bali is so beautiful. Oh my God. I cannot wait to get this money up so I can go. That's going to be definitely a top 10 trip for me, is going to Bali. So once they get to Bali, they get in their cars, and Talene is riding with Ayan and Lisa, and the other girls are in another car. And Talene was like, "Oh my God, I'm worried about Brooks. Like, she hasn't called anything." And I'm like, "See, this is the fake shit I be talking about. Now all of a sudden you worried about Brooks? Because best believe if Brooks was sitting in your seat and you missed the flight, she wouldn't be worried about you. So what are you worried about her for?" That's even to me, y'all. I know this is nothing, but to me, that's a telltale sign that she has more dirt on you that you're not trying to let out. So you trying to play nice. Because if you say something, it's gonna get back to her, especially being in the car with Lisa Milan and Chanel Ayan, who are the closest to her out of all the cast. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that scene?
Fake. Y'all do not give a damn about this lady. Let's just call it what it is. Y'all do not care. But not Stansberry, Lord, they both got the same name. Brooks. I feel like Brooks did that on purpose, hoping that they would miss their flight. It just seems like something she would do.
I agree. I agree with that too. I agree that, I think she did on purpose. I think what I really think, I'm gonna say allegedly to protect my channel because I know how women like Brooks operate. I feel like Brooks had her a date with somebody on the same time she's trying to go on this trip, and that's how she got the Bali. Because y'all had to understand something about, and I'm gonna get to that scene in a minute, but y'all, Brooks is an old school food. Brooks ain't no new food. Like, this is old, like she got old wise tail. So some of y'all young ones, y'all will never know. So I'm gonna explain it when we get to that scene. So the ladies get to their villa, which was absolutely beautiful. When I tell you Real Housewives of Dubai, Beverly Hills, Salt Lake City, and there's one other one that does it right. I want to say Miami, but I don't remember. I'm gonna say those franchises get vacation right. There's always a curator that has food. They have this big ass villa, and then in Dubai, because these women are a lot richer than the States women, they all have individual rooms inside of the hotel in case they don't want to be around each other. I thought that was smart, and I loved it, and I was here for it. So Lisa tells the ladies that she has Chef Luca coming, who is a celebrity chef. I remember him from something. I don't remember what show it was, but he has the food there and they're all impressed. And once again, the table was like, "Are we not going to report our missing child with Brooks?" And Talene was like, "Yeah, I am worried about her. It's not like her not to be here." And Chanel Young looked over there. She goes, Oh, that's surprising because from what I heard, Brooks told me that you were chasing her around the house talking about she ain't, where her husband at. And Celine goes, "Oh no, we're not gonna do that. You're not gonna say that. You got me messed up. You're not gonna say that." And I was like, "Oh, calm down, calm down." Cause and Shania Y'all was the right one. Because when I tell you that whole table would have flipped over on her side, there's no way you're gonna talk to me like that. I don't know who you talking to, but you ain't gonna talk to me like that. So the ladies clear it up because Lisa said, "No, I was there. Talene did not do that. It was, other comments being said." And she goes, "So yeah, I know. I was just trying to help." She goes, "Okay, I understand, but that's just a very sore subject for me right now." And I said, "Talene, you got a lot of balls. I'm just gonna let you know that right now because there is no way in hell you could talk to me and sit at that same table." I'm just saying. How did you feel about that, you know, conversation at that table, Mrs. Best?
I felt two ways. I felt like Ayan was messy to bring that up at the table when everyone's trying to have a good time. But then at
Hmm.
the same time, it's also like Talene. You had a very loud public argument in front of everybody with the person who is the reason you're in this friend group. So you have to expect to talk about it.
I mean, are we not on reality TV? Is this not a show? Did she not think it was going to come up? And to me, I felt like she was shutting her down so they wouldn't address how disrespectful her husband was. I think that that's the real reason why she shut that shit down
Yep.
because you knew that was coming. Well, I'm not
Hmm.
stupid. I know women like her. I'm sorry. She knew that shit was gonna come up eventually because Lisa's sitting at the table, and Lisa was one of the ones that tried to get him together when it came to Brooke. So she knew that that was coming. So she shut that shit down before they even got the chance because then that would have been crazy as she did that. So the ladies then after dinner they start having a drink, and in walks in Brooks, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, Brooks, you late, but you made sure she came in, blazing. She hugs everybody, even Talene, and Talene was shocked that she hugged her. And it was like, well, y'all on vacation. She probably not coming with the rah rah. So they ask her, well, did you fly Emirate? And she goes, no, I flew private. And Stansberry says she did not fly private. The only private that she could have flown is their suitcase tied to the wing, and she's sitting on the side. That's the only private she can fly. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't give Brooks much. I don't, because I don't really care for Brooks that much. But I do believe she flies private. And as I said, Brooks is
Yep.
not no new school food. Brooks, y'all, let me tell you, Brooks has been in Dubai forever. Brooks has been there for years. She know how the game work. She know how to get her a rich billionaire. She know how to do this. She's beautiful. She is well spoken. I will give her that. And she has a really great taste, so she can dress. Men like, especially in Dubai, men love them chocolate sisters like that. Don't let that fool you. They love that little sassiness. They do. They get turned on by it. So I 100% believe that whoever she messing with flew her ass out there. Absolutely. I believe it. So I think Stansberry was hating.
Yep.
I do. I think Stansberry was hating because I feel like Michael not gonna pay for that for her. Allegedly. That's the sugar daddy. Allegedly, I feel like it's him and that other man that bought her that very expensive art piece in her house. That really fine one that she had at that party with that gray hair. I think that's another one. I do. Because why the hell is you buying her $1 million worth of artwork, sir? Mrs. Best, I love you with all my heart. I promise you, you my best friend. We have been friends for 16 years. I don't give a damn how rich I get. I'm not buying you, goddamn expensive ass art piece to go in the middle of your house. Not doing it.
Please don't.
Absolutely. So something tells me that it's Michael and whoever that man is. And I'm gonna say allegedly, but I'm just saying. I saw that man too. And she slid it out her mouth in the confessional how that man bought her this piece. I'm just saying, y'all. She said it out her own mouth. Michael paid for the stay and allegedly, and Michael has a house in the same development. He just bought it. He said that to Raphael. So I believe, once again, I do believe this story. I'm sorry. And as I said, Michael got money, money. From what I heard about Michael, he got a lot of money. So yes. So I think Stansberry was just hating, and that's just really what it is. So, and let Brooks be in her single girl fashion. She ain't hurting nobody. And as I said, this a old school fool. Brooks know how to get them bills paid. Brooks know no, she might not know time management well, but Brooks know how to get a bag at the end of the day. I do believe that. So it is the next day, and the ladies are going on this boat ride that Brooks has arranged for them. And they have food on there. It's a very nice ride. And as I said, Bali, y'all, I cannot wait to go to Bali because every bit of scenery that I've seen in these scenes, I was here for it all. I really was. So the ladies are talking, having fun, and we see, Chanel Ayan and Brooks talking, and and Chanel Ayan says, "You need to talk to Talene and make that right or whatever." And she goes, "I don't want to talk about Talene. I'm not here for Talene. I'm here for the trip. Like, why don't you get that? Like, you just be, you need to stay out of it." And Chanel Ayan goes, "Okay, okay," and I do agree with that. I feel like those two will work it out. If I was on this trip with them, I wouldn't even be worried about them two. I really would. Like I respect Brooks for this moment, not wanting to engage in it because this is a trip. They'll work that stuff out amongst themselves. So after a while, Brooks goes over to Caroline Stansberry, and she pretty much tells her that she misses her and that she's been on this healing journey with her life, and it's causing her to really be someone different. And Stansberry's like, "Well, I don't like the new Brooks. I miss the old Brooks. Like, why do you need all this healing with Sarah and everything?" And I'm just looking at Stansberry like, I'm starting to notice something about Stansberry, y'all. And I don't know if it's the classism or if it's the, elitist, behavior. But I'm noticing like certain triggers with her where she doesn't want someone to be better than her out of this cast, especially a black woman. She would have a hard time with Mary Cosby. I'm gonna let her know that now. You will have a very hard time with Mary Cosby because Mary Cosby don't care how much money you got. She gonna be better than you. She gonna get in the same places you gonna get into. She's gonna do the same things you can do and have half of the income of you. And she might do it better than you. I'm just saying she's gonna hate women like this. But I'm noticing that. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about the scene so far?
It Stansberry, I don't know. It does seem like Stansberry is kind of she's she's wishy washy. It seems like
Hmm.
everything that she does is like pre-produced, in my opinion. Um, that's really what it is with me with her. Everything she did in this episode and has done just feels pre-produced. So I don't fully take her seriously. But I never thought that Stansberry and Brooks had like the closest friendship. They
I didn't think
portray it
so
as
either.
that, but I never thought it was that at all. I just felt like they liked each other because they both always have had enemies on the show.
To me, yeah. To me, I feel like Brooks has a friendship, like a real like outside of this show. I feel like Brooks has a real relationship with Chanel Ayan. I feel like she has a real friendship with Lisa, and I know she had one with Talee. I know the Sarah shit is new, and Stansberry is new. I already know those two are new because they all met through Nina. So I know that that's all new shit. But I feel like she definitely had a relationship with those two before the show, way before the show. So Brooke says she's gonna go get in the water. So her and Lisa get in the water. And Stansberry goes over to Chanel Ayan and is talking about she had a conversation with Brooks and it feels like Sarah's really getting in the way of everything. And when is Chanel Ayan going to bring up that little recording of Sarah and when she's going to confront her about it? And Ayan's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're bringing it up." So off camera, well, not off camera, just a scene that didn't make it into the editing room table. Chanel Ayan, Talina Stansberry went out to lunch, and Shania says that somebody dropped in her WhatsApp this very juicy information about Sarah talking about Brooks. And when she plays the recording for Brooks, she was, or for Stansberry and Talene, she was all like, it basically said it was Sarah saying that, regardless if she likes Brooks or not, what she did was not cool, and just basically reporting on that night when Talene and Brooks got into it. And Shania didn't mention it, but she goes, I couldn't just let this just sit in my phone. I had to show somebody. And at first, y'all, I didn't think anything of it. At first, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, damn, whoever sent her that was messy, but at the same time, it is what it is. I didn't think anything of it. So now we're moving on, and we're now going to dinner again. And they're sitting at the table, and what ended up happening, amongst this, I'm not gonna go through everything. I just want to get to the part that I want to talk about because it pissed me off. So they begin talking about, talking to Sarah, and Sarah and Stansberry go at it about this whole Brooke situation and her house and everything. So Stansberry, with her messy self, say, "Yeah, like that recording that Ayan has on you. Ayan, play that." And everyone's like, "What recording?" And Lisa's looking at Ayan like, and Ayan's looking at Lisa with guiltiness. She goes, "I know she's not talking about the recording I sent you." And she goes, "Yeah, babe, I am so sorry." And Lisa was like, "Are you serious right now?" And I was like, "Oh my God. Y'all, the amount of rage that I had for Lisa in this moment, I was like, damn, that's messed up. How dare you?" And Stansberry goes, "Well, in my defense, Lisa, I didn't know that came from you. Chanel never told me that." And it was like, it doesn't fucking matter if she said it or not. Ayan was wrong. And so they play it because Sarah's confused. Sarah's like, "Well, wait, how did she get it? Why would you send it to her?" And Lisa's defense was, "I didn't hear that last part of what you said, and I didn't know what you were talking about. So I sent it to my best friend to say, hey, can you make what she's trying to say?" And Shanayan agreed, that's what she said. And Talene was like, "Well, why didn't you just ask Sarah?" Which I agree with Talene on this. This is the only thing I'm gonna give Talene. I agree with Celine. Why, Lisa? Why didn't you ask Sarah? If you were confused about what was being said, you could have said, "Hey, Sarah, why don't you text what you just said? Because I didn't understand what you were saying." And Chanel and Lisa was like, "I just can't believe this." And pretty much, we end on a cliffhanger of to be continued. But y'all, I was for it. So before I go in, this is best. It's your turn now. How did you feel about this last dinner scene?
Well, Lisa and Chanel's credibility is now ruined because now people are going to think that whoever Lisa's close with, she could be sending your voice notes, forwarding text, emails. You don't want to think like when I text a friend or anybody, the last thing I hope is that they're screenshotting it and sending what I'm, talking to them about to other people. That's weird. It's a violation. So that's one. Ayan, though, Lisa is like your one true friend. You're supposed to be very, very close. And it's very strange that you get close with Stansberry and now you're sending out text messages that are supposed to be personal between you and Lisa. Just the episode ago, you're speaking as if you're not going to talk about Lisa behind her back or do anything crazy behind her back. When the ladies are like, "Oh, is everything okay with her? Why don't you guys ask her?" But now you're also sharing private conversations, which directly puts her in a situation because it comes back to her. Now she has to explain herself. And it doesn't look like Lisa was trying to be messy. So
Yeah.
it just does not look. Ayan can't be trusted. I felt like her ballroom gowns and all the dresses that she does and the extra stuff, like even though she tries to do it and be like funny and stuff, when I see her like leaning into being funny and doing too much, always trying to have a punchline, like those are the people you got to watch out for. Sometimes people will use their trauma as a way to gain popularity in the hearts of others, which makes us less likely to question her. But I'm not surprised that she would do something like that.
Uh, I wish I could say I'm not surprised either, but I am. Because for me, like, I take it back to our friendship. There is no way I don't care who it is. There is no way I'm selling out my friendship to you for anybody. I don't care what it is you said. If what you said it is, that's what it is. I have no reason to then go to someone else who I know you at odds with already, that you remain cordial because of me. I'm not going to then go to that person and then play you and play a recording to then out somebody else. To me, even in her confessional, y'all, even in her confessional, which is filmed months later than when this was filmed, she said it was hot, it was juicy, and I just had to share it with Stansberry. It was like you went
Yeah.
in there with intentions to do this. So I'm sorry, y'all. Like, there's no way Chanel Ayan can defend this to me.
The worst part is she shared it too with someone new. If she would have shared it with like the other ladies who she has some type of history with, it's still bad, but it's like okay. But Talene was there, who she don't really know like that, and it's just like it just adding salt to the wound. It's just not good.
It's not good. And it wasn't. And to me, I felt like you sharing it with somebody who at the end of the day don't really give a fuck about you if the worlds were to come, because all it takes is one mishap and that lady's gonna throw you in the crossfire and turn on your ass before you even know it. And for you to have that one solid ass friend, because regardless of what y'all think about Lisa, Lisa was loyal as hell to Chanel Ayan. Like, to a point to where I felt like if Chanel Ayan didn't fuck with somebody, Lisa didn't fuck with them because she trusted in her friend that much.
True. That is true.
Like, I trust Mrs. Best. If Mrs. Best don't fuck with somebody, I don't fuck with that person because I trust my best friend to every extent. If that person ain't right, my best friend ain't got no reason to tell me wrong. So I'm going to trust that. That person ain't right. I don't care who that person is. I don't care how much money that person got. I don't care what that person could do for me. If my best friend tell me, James, that ain't the situation, move on, I'm moving on. So no, I'm sorry. That was crazy as hell to me. And it seemed like next week it gets even worse. But if I was Lisa, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, if I was Lisa, I would never trust her again. I would never fool with her again. We could be
She can't.
cordial,
She can't. She really can't.
because there's no way you can get past this. Because you can never trust her again. And the shit was petty, but at the same time, what if that shit was serious? Like, what if that shit was some real serious shit and you just incriminated her? And from the looks of next week's episode, Chanel Young's gonna play the victim, and I'm not gonna be here for it. So I would hope Bravo in that call center, y'all better edit this shit where it don't make her look crazy. Because I'm sorry, if I watch this shit and she look crazy, I'm going the fuck in. Because that's crazy. That's crazy as hell that she even did that. And I just knew for sure Lisa was going to be the problem. I just knew in my mind Lisa was going to be the problem of why those two fell out. So yeah, I don't care. Stansberry, you ain't shit for bringing that shit up at that table. But damn, Shania, you really did play yourself and lost a good ass friend over behind some bullshit. I'm telling you, this lady, Stansberry, do not mean you know well. I don't care how popular and how rich or whatever it is that she promised, or however it feels to be in her good graces. I don't care what that shit looks like. That shit was wrong to sell out your friend like that. That's crazy. And Lisa, keep your head up. You don't need friends like her.
She doesn't.
You don't need friends like her. Like, forget her at this point. Maintain your cordialness with all the other ladies, but forget her. And if you're gonna be the odd man out next season, because I know they're gonna bring your ass back next season. Bring you a home girl on this show. And bring somebody that's about it. Now, Saba, I'm gonna give it to Saba. I ain't gonna give Saba too much more. But Saba did have Sarah's back when it came down to it. Saba was getting people together too, especially Stansberry, because I think Saba has more money than Stansberry, so she don't give a fuck about that elite shit. So I'm gonna give Saba that. Saba did do her job. She will act like a Miss J. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you, love. She will act like a victim. Not cool. That was so wrong. It was. It was terrible.
It violated all forms of trust within their friendship. They could never have a conversation without the worry that that conversation is going to be repeated, recorded, or shared. It's crazy.
Night, Miss J. We appreciate you being here. We really do. We thank you for being on my channel. I'm gonna say this: there has been other intimate conversations that she has shared with Chanel Ayan off camera. I mean, on camera. I wonder off camera how much that she got to Stansberry. I wonder how much more Stansberry knows of Lisa's business. Um, she's giving us Nene vibes. Oh no, this is more like Phaedra vibes than Nene, and I'm gonna explain why. This is you for some reason feel like you can get in better with this friend that you're going to sell me out and be disgusted and dirty towards me, all to be in this person's good gracious who don't even probably like you at the end of the day. So this is when Phaedra was trying to get cool with Nene and disregarding Candy. That's what this is right here. I don't think this is so much Nene vibes. This is definitely Phaedra vibes. This is snakist. This is you being a snake. Because as I said, that confessional told me all I needed to hear. Because at that time, she didn't say who she got it from until the end when Lisa confronted her. She goes, she's talking about the clip I sent you. So she was fine with putting out that dirt. But I think what she wasn't betting on was Stansberry bringing that shit up as a silver bullet to get with Sarah. I think that's what she didn't count on. And you have to be an idiot to think that Stansberry wouldn't have used that as a silver bullet. You had to have been an idiot to think she wasn't going to do that. Because as soon as she got into it with Sarah, that was going to be the first thing she brought up, no matter how innocent it was. She does wants to be the queen bee, but she knows Stansberry is in the way. But also there is this, I think a lot of black people have this. There is this, sort of inspiration of white women where they can get into certain rooms and they can be in popular realms where certain black people can, especially in a country, like the Middle East, where white is still superior. So I think honestly, she's trying to get in this lady's good gracious for all of that popularity. I think that's really what it is because there's no other reason. There's no other reason. She's a breakout star of this show already. So for her to be friends with Caroline Stansberry after they have went at it the entire first season, it's weird. It has to be some sort of classism or some sort of, elitist popularity that she has that Chanel Young wants to be attached to. And that's really, really sad because you can really break out and do that on your own. You don't need this lady. So that's what's so weird about her. Yes. Yeah, I really think that's really what it is because it makes no other sense otherwise. Like, what reason would you have to sell out your best friend to appease this lady who really you don't know if she even cares about you or not? Because she obviously don't give a damn about you. If she were to out you to hurt that lady, there's no way. Like, there's no way you think that that lady really has your best interest at heart. There's no way you think that. So yeah, that part pissed me off, y'all. I was really angry at her. I don't like Chanel Ayan at this point. I don't know if there's anything she can do to make me like her again. I'm watching her. As far as I can tell, I'm on Lisa's side with this one. Chanel Young, you lost me with this one, sweetie. I don't know how you gonna get back on my on my good side this season. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how. Sound like a fan like Judas. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what she did. It is crazy. It is crazy she did that. Mrs. Best, is there anything you want to add before we move it on along to your channel?
No, I agree with all of that. It just don't make no sense to do that type of shit to somebody you care about. But karma,
Mhm.
karma is coming.
It's coming, and I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna be like, that's what you get. That's exactly what you get. And the shoulder that you had to cry on is no longer there, and it doesn't need to be. But that's it, you guys. That was Real Housewives of Dubai. It was a crazy episode. It's sad to see this friendship end this way, but Chanel Yan brought it upon herself. Next week, they're going to dive into it a little bit more. I did see a little sneak peek. From what I saw of that sneak peek, I'm not here. I'm not even here even more for Shania Yan after this. So next week is going to be crazy. We will be back on my channel next Wednesday for Real Housewives of Dubai. Do not miss it. It is going to be crazy. Mrs. Best will be here with me as well. But we're going to go to her channel now, you guys. So if you're not subscribed to Mrs. Best, go in my description box, copy the link, and go to her channel because we're not going to do Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. on her channel. I cannot wait to talk about it. I appreciate everybody else. Miss J, this is the first time I'm seeing you commenting on my channel. Welcome. I'm hoping you're subscribed to me. We hope to see you again next time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody who was watching in the replay game. I appreciate you guys as well. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as well. And thank you so much. Until the next recap, guys, have a good night.